Okay, so if you're a photographer, you definitely heard the buzz and probably some of the panic around AI. Today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. This is your practical guide to using AI in your photography, not to replace you, but to give you superpowers. We're going to show you how to get your work done faster without losing an ounce of your artistic style. Let's jump in.
So, let me just start by asking you a question. Is AI already a part of your workflow? You might be thinking, no, not me, but the answer might actually surprise you.
Yeah, the thing is, it almost certainly is. I mean, if you've used a smartphone in the last, 5 years, you've used AI. All that computational photography magic, when it stacks multiple pictures for a perfect HDR shot, or that portrait mode that gives you that creamy, blurry background, that's all AI, my friend. It's already here, quietly making your photos look better.
So, let's just reframe this whole thing. The best way to think about AI isn't as some kind of creative replacement. Think of it as your new assistant. It's a tool that's here to do the boring stuff, the heavy lifting, so you can focus on what actually matters, your creative vision.
So when we talk about AI, what are we really talking about? Well, it breaks down into a few really practical jobs. You've got your quality fixes, things like denoising a grainy photo or sharpening a slightly soft one. Then there's cleanup, getting rid of that annoying trash can in the background. Of course, there are the generative edits, where you can add or change things with a text prompt. And then the two huge ones for your workflow: culling, to sort through thousands of photos in minutes, not days, and style consistency, which helps you apply your look across a whole shoot.
And this right here, this is the entire philosophy you should have. It's the whole point. Let the machine handle the boring, repetitive, soul-crushing tasks. That frees you, the artist, to spend your precious time and energy on the taste parts, the final color grade, the perfect crop, all the creative decisions that are uniquely yours.
But here's something you might not have thought of. AI isn't just for editing after the fact. Its real power can actually start way before you even take the camera out of the bag.
Think of it like a creative partner you can brainstorm with. Feeling stuck on a shoot? You can tell it about your location, the vibe you're going for, and it can spit out a bunch of shot list ideas. Or, how about this? It can give you posing prompts when you hit that wall. We've all been there, right? When your brain just freezes. It's not there to replace your ideas, it's there to kickstart them.
I absolutely love this metaphor because it just nails the right mindset. You should always try to get the best shot you can in camera. Nail your exposure, get that focus tack sharp. AI is the parachute that can save a fantastic moment that you had to capture in, say, a really dark church. It's not a license to be lazy with your camera skills. It's a safety net, not a substitute for knowing how to fly.
Okay, now let's get into the heart of it. This is where most people feel the biggest impact, how AI totally revolutionizes the post-production workflow. This is where you're going to get hours of your life back. So here's a quick look at some of the big players right now. Lightroom's denoise is fantastic, especially for RAW files. But the key is not to crank it to the moon. You got to be subtle. Photoshop's generative fill is a magician for removing stuff. For those really high ISO nightmare shots, a dedicated tool like DxO Deep Prime can be a total lifesaver. But look at the bottom two. The real game changers for your time are tools like Aftershoot for culling and Imagen for style matching. Seriously, these can give you your weekends back.
Let's just talk about culling for a second, because for a lot of us, it's the single most painful part of the job. Now, AI culling doesn't pick your best photos for you. Let's be clear on that. What it does do is organize the absolute chaos. It groups all the similar shots together, it flags the obvious mistakes like blinks or missed focus. Its job is to show you the best candidates. Your job as the artist is still to make that final choice based on emotion, on storytelling, on taste.
Okay, and this leads us to the big one. The biggest fear that I hear from photographers about AI. Will it make my work look generic? Am I going to lose my unique voice? And that is a totally valid concern, so let's tackle it head on.
Here we go, another perfect metaphor. Think of an AI-style profile as your personal sous chef in the kitchen. You show it your best work, your perfectly finished recipes, and it learns how you like your ingredients prepped. It can then apply that baseline to hundreds of photos, getting them maybe 80% of the way there in seconds. But it's not the head chef. You are. You still come in and add the final touches, the secret sauce that makes the whole dish yours.
So, how do you actually stay in the driver's seat? You use a checklist, just like this one. After the AI does its thing, you do a quick pass and you check these key parts of your style. Are the skin tones looking right? Are your blacks crushed the way you like them, or are they lifted? How's the roll-off in the highlights? This is how you make sure the final image is a product of your vision, not just the algorithm's suggestion.
All right, as we start to wrap up, let's talk about some smart guardrails. These are the best practices that are going to help you avoid the most common problems, both ethically and technically.
This is a really, really important line to draw in the sand. Enhancement is just making a photo better. Reducing noise, correcting color, removing a distracting piece of trash. It doesn't change the truth of the moment. Fabrication, on the other hand, is changing what's true about the scene, adding a dramatic sky that wasn't there, or removing a key person from a photo. For photojournalists, this line is everything. For everyone else, it's about being honest with your clients and your audience.
So let's put it all together. Here's what a sane, practical AI workflow looks like. First, you always back up your originals. Then you let the AI help you cull, but you make the final picks. Use AI for quality fixes, but only where it's needed. Then you let an AI profile apply your baseline look. But notice, the most important step is next, your manual, creative finishing touches. And that last step is so critical. Check your work. If a photo feels a little too perfect, it probably is. A little bit of human imperfection is what makes photography beautiful.
Okay, let's talk about the #1 mistake we all see, the waxy, plastic-looking face. It happens when you just push that denoise slider way too far. The fix is so simple, just dial it back. Seriously, it's better to have a little bit of natural grain in there than skin that looks like it belongs on a mannequin. Real people have pores.
And here's the other classic giveaway. A generative edit where the lighting is just off, or the texture looks totally wrong. The solution here is to be more specific. Tell the AI about the lighting in your prompt. And this is crucial. Work with smaller selections. A good rule of thumb is that big selections invite big weirdness. So do a few small targeted edits instead of one giant one. You'll get way better results.
So look, if you take only one single thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. Treat AI like an assistant, a very smart, very fast assistant. But it is not the author. You are. Your taste, your eye, your vision, that's what's steering the ship. Always. And that's a wrap. So I'll leave you with this to think about. When you look at your own workflow, what's the very first soul-crushing, tedious task that you are going to delegate to your new assistant? Is it going to be culling? Is it denoising? Whatever it is, the power is now in your hands. Thanks so much for watching.